All right, we're going to get started. All right, welcome everyone. Dear Academy Class of 2022, families, friends, and guests, I want to welcome all of you, recognize some of you, and applaud many of you. Before I begin, though, I want to briefly thank a few people who made setting up for this event possible. Ms. Namichetu, Mrs. Keller, Mrs. Greenlee, Mrs. Summers, building service staff, and my fantastic 2022-2023 Academy officers. Officers, if you don't mind waving so everyone knows who you are. This is our first in-person graduation ceremony for the Academy in 3 years. And don't you feel like you've just been in a thermocycler? I mean, if you really think about it, each of your classes is like a DNA sample, and you're trying to get your primers in line, copying down the information with your polymerase, and every time you think you have your bearings and really start to hit your stride with your new material, a new COVID variant pops up, and it's time to unplug your computer, denature, and start the cycle again. But here we are. I don't mean to make light of the unconventional high school experience you've had. I mean to shed light on the incredible things you've accomplished despite the challenges and uncertainties. You were the first Academy class to take the rigorous biotechnician's assistant credentialing exam. 11 of you took it last year, and 13 of you are joining your junior members and taking it this very week. Academy members in your class made up 5 of the top 25 members in your class academically. And let's take a brief look at some of the things you guys have done over the past few years. It's a new piece. We haven't done this before. So I'm excited to rock this one out. So Sia, where's Sia? So I had Sia put together a bunch of slides with pictures and stuff from all the way back from freshman year onward. So let's look in the beginning. So when it all began, you guys were freshmen, and one of the first things you might have seen was the Academy table at the club fair. Now all these people have since graduated, but now you are them. You had a lot of lunch and learns. There's just a few. And just to give you a sense of the amazing amount of time you've had here, when you started, that building down the street was called MedImmune. So in 2018, we had a lunch and learn with MedImmune. When we came back from the pandemic, MedImmune was no longer called MedImmune. MedImmune was now AstraZeneca. It had been owned by AstraZeneca for years, but they rebranded. In this very room, in 2019, just before, in the first half of your sophomore year, this is several of you at the career fair that we had in person that year. And then a month later, our field trip to NIH. And then finally, our trip to Walter Reed. And I got some close-ups in this next slide because it might be a little harder for you guys to see. Let me take away the subtitles for a second. You can see some of the members of your class. If you look around, do you see them? You see any faces you recognize? I think I see Simona in the corner there. I think I see Yuna on the right. Yeah, a bunch of you guys are in there. Say cheese. And then real quick, I'd like to invite up all of our 2021, 2022, am I doing the math? Yeah, officers, if you don't mind, real quick. This is them at our first picture day once we were back in the building. Okay, so the officers, the current officers, specifically Sia, put together a set of gift bags for each of you. So I'm going to do you by position first, and they're color coded. Also, they've got a little lab coat. It's kind of cute. So first, I want to recognize Theo, who is one of our vice presidents of communications. Theo has many animals and many talents, and many. He's just awesome. I'm sorry I'm a little lost for words, but I've really enjoyed getting to know you over these few years, and I hope we keep in touch. So if you don't mind, since you're the first person, do you mind opening your bag? So you guys can all look, so you guys see what you're in for. So in the bag, you have several things. Among them, safety goggles, because you're going to college. You don't know what you're going to expect. Purell, show them what's on it. The biotech insignia. Stay clean, people. All right, and finally, two more things, sorry. What is this? Do you get it? Wait, what is it?
Graduated cylinder.
Because?
We graduated.
No, it's because you're leaders. And then what's this?
M&M's.
And?
A tube.
What kind?
A conical tube.
And that's why she's the president. Okay. All right, you can pull all back in.
And this.
And another graduated cylinder sticker. Cool. All right, so I'm going to give them to each of you all. Thank you for being the guinea pig, Theo. All right, Kieran, another one of our communications vice presidents. Yuna. All right, and then our membership vice presidents, Sarah and Karen. And then we've got our media and documentation, Janet, Dia, Angelina, and then fundraising and event coordination, Imani, and our president of the class of 2022, Harveen. So, all right, well, thank you guys for all of your work, and thanks for coming. All right, so I have a couple more slides. So these next couple slides are largely with the help of our next speaker, who's going to be coming up in a few. But we had our career fair, which is put on by these officers, as well as by our wonderful program advisory committee, led by Ms. Haywood, Dr. Watkins, and also with the help of Mrs. Keller. We had this career fair that went really, really well, and you can see Dr. Watkins up there. It was great. So even that was this year. Okay. Then we had an interview day, also made possible by the PAC. And that's the end of that slideshow. Okay, back to this one. Oh, that's cool. They just switch right back and forth. I love that. Okay. All right, and finally, let me introduce you to a few distinguished guests. So Aubrey Watkins is from our partners at Emergent Biosolutions. As I said, Mrs. Rosanna Haywood. I'm pleased to congratulate her on her own graduation to the position of Supervisor of Science, Technology, and Engineering for Montgomery County Public Schools. This is a pretty big deal. And then, as always, a special thank you to my partners in crime, Mrs. Keller and Ms. Namichetu. So I couldn't be done without you. So in addition to being one of our partners over at Emergent Biosolutions, Dr. Watkins, as I just mentioned, is also the president of our program advisory committee. While our March 18th, 2020 field trip was canceled to Emergent for obvious reasons, Dr. Watkins has been resolute in his conviction to bring opportunities to our members, and I couldn't be happier than at this time to invite him to the podium. So let's give him a warm round of applause. I was thinking you'd come the other way.
Hey, you make me want to be a teacher, man. It seems like too much fun. Avi, where'd you put that for me? Let me grab a little bit of what I want to say tonight. But first of all, it's good to be here. Love the excitement in the room. Thank you for having me. Congratulations to Mom and Dad first and foremost. I think we should give a little round of applause for the parents in the room. So I'm standing in place. You might see inside your program, you might see a Miss Courtney Delator. And Courtney is one of my colleagues. She couldn't be here tonight because she just came down with COVID yesterday. And she said, how timely that I can't be here. But Courtney put together a really nice program. All of your students, boys, girls alike, and my colleagues from Emergent had a really nice time. And I can't tell you all, before I go into the speech here, how energizing that was for those of us who work in the industry. People have been working behind the scenes, working through computer screens to have the opportunity to interact with your children. So just want you to know that that's a blessing, and it's kicked off a relationship, I hope, that lasts for a long, long time. Rosanna and Avi and I have been in cohort for a couple of years now, but this was something that we had done anew, so we hope to do this again and again and again. So the feedback was spectacular. So with that, dear graduates, congratulations to all of you on reaching your fantastic milestone in your life. It is an exciting time for each of you because you have a clean slate to paint your own portrait of the world the way you envision it. This is the mark of complete freedom to think and dream big without limitations on where your imagination can take you. I can guarantee you that all your parents would agree with me. If I think back for a minute to when I was in high school, I can truly say that I didn't have any restrictions on my thinking about the possibilities of what lied ahead, what I wanted to become, or what I wanted to where I wanted to live, or who should be my friends when I grew up. And the one thing I can say for certain is that I didn't have any idea that I was ever going to become a scientist, biochemist, cancer researcher, especially not for one of the world's most admired pharmaceutical companies when I got my first job as a staff biochemist at Merck & Company outside of Philadelphia. When I see students like you that have achieved in the manner that you have and participated in the Academy of Biotechnology, I get super excited at the possibility of hearing about all the great things that you will eventually do and become. All because you've had the time to learn amazing fundamentals about science, more than most, while enjoying the relationships you've built with your teachers and classmates at Northwest High School. The world, I can tell you, used to be a colossal place. But with the plethora of apps, social media, mobile devices, it's been shrunken down to the palm of your hands. You can maintain all of these relationships now for a lifetime without any time from the day without any lapse in the time from the day you leave home until the time you get married and one day perhaps have your own children. There's power in that. And I see the interaction in the room. And I see how you interact with your colleagues and your friends. This is just the beginning. To give you an example, my high school chemistry teacher, Miss Bear. My high school physics teacher, Mr. Bear. Molecular biologist Aubrey Watkins, one day, unbeknownst to anybody who ever knew me in high school, certainly not even in college, how excited they were just to get that phone call from me to say, "I finally made it, Miss Bear. I'm a scientist." It wasn't that common back then to hear from your students after they left home. We didn't even have cell phones when I got my first job, 1994, 1995. So it almost felt like it was a landing on the moon when they got that news. I say all that just to say, just know that all your teachers, all the administrators present here today, they all have a stake in your life. Be sure you acknowledge them. Be sure you acknowledge them from time to time by letting them know simply how things are going. We have to admit that without them and your parents, there is no you and countless others that have come before you. Without Miss Blair telling me that I would be pretty good at chemistry, if I was a bit more consistent with my homework, I might not be a scientist today myself. So having said that, I strive to tell students like you about my journey in hopes that you can see a bright path forward in your own endeavors. And let me be the first to say, you don't have to become a scientist or a doctor, even though everyone would agree that that would be great. Why am I saying that? Because the industry that I work in, life sciences, pharmaceuticals, biotechnology industry, has room for just about any and every profession under the sun. My first piece of advice to you all is chase your dreams is the best approach. You can be a computer scientist, you can be a salesman, you can be an engineer, you can be a writer, you can be an English major or a graphic artist and still work in this industry. So that's awesome to me. So you just need to focus on being the best you can be, period, at whatever you choose to do. When Emergent Biosolutions participated in a dual mock interview day, with many of you here in the room a few weeks ago. Not all of those people were scientists. Not all of them were doctors, even though they work at a biotechnology company. What you experienced was a set of people excited about a group of bright students that had demonstrated a potential interest from their participation in the AOB to work in the same industry they worked in. That's all they needed to know to get involved. It just means they were excited about your excitement. That's something I don't ever want you to lose, is excitement. Take advantage of being new always and curious, and seek out people who want to absorb your energy and help you help yourself. Because whether you know it or not, you're always going to have teachers in your life, and your success fulfills them too. They might come in forms of mentors or coaches or bosses, but there's always going to be somebody ready, willing, and able to help you achieve your dreams, as long as you let them know who you are. Thank you. Go and be great.
Thank you very much, Dr. Watkins. At this time, I'd also like to welcome our outgoing president, Ms. Harveen Kapoor, to the podium.
Hi, everyone. My name is Harveen Kapoor, and I'm the president of the Academy of Biotechnology here at Northwest. I want to start off by saying a huge congratulations to all the graduates here today. Each one of you deserves this amazing achievement. I truly feel honored to not only give this speech, but to be the lead of this incredible academy. I want to take you all back to a very special moment I had at the start of my junior year. After applying to be an officer, to my displeasure, I was made aware that I did not get picked to be an officer for this academy, and I was heartbroken. Though this moment was rather sad, I didn't let it stop me from being where I am today. I still came to every single meeting that year, pitched in where anyone needed help, and made my best effort to stand out. Just a month later, I was given the position of Vice President of Communication and Outreach. Fast forward to the start of my senior year, I was approached by Mr. Silber, our coordinator, to take the lead as the president of the academy. The biggest takeaway I learned from this experience is to never give up. Never give up, for that is just the place and the time the tide will turn. This quote by Harriet Beecher is something I believe each one of us should remember even when times seem unpredictable. I want to thank the amazing set of officers who always put forth their best effort and made each event this year possible. Thank you to Ms. Nan Machedu for teaching the very first year of our Special Topics in Biotechnology course. Your warmth and genuineness made each one of us feel like one big family. I also want to take a very special moment to thank our coordinator, Mr. Silber, who's the driving force behind this academy. Thank you for always pushing each one of us to not only do our best, but to be the best version of ourselves. We couldn't have done it without you. Lastly, I want to thank Dr. Aubrey Watkins and Ms. Courtney Della Torre from Emergent Biosolutions who are here with us tonight. Thank you and your staff for conducting a mock interview event with our Special Topics class. This experience allowed each one of us to be comfortable in a work environment and prepare us to feel comfortable when giving an interview. From behalf of our Special Topics class, we want to give you a small token of our love. Thank you so much.
All right, who wants some chords? I said who? No, okay. Let's get started. We're going to go through alphabetically, just so we keep things orderly. I'm going to have you come up around here, and then you'll cycle through. They'll give you your cord, your certificate, and if you have enough credits, your medal. They have a list. after we're done going through all the names and having each of you come up, we'll get to schmooze. It'll be nice. We'll get to chat with your friends and family. So I'll put some music on. Sound good? Let's get started. All right. I'm not totally sure who's here and who's not, so I'm going to roll through all the names. Let's go. All right, Sandra. Well, we can still applaud. Sandra's amazing. Theo, I know you're here because I saw you earlier. Yeah, no, but none is in front.
What's happening? I'm the guinea pig guy.
Yes, that's it. All right. Next, we'd like to recognize Karen. And followed by Karen, we'll have Althea. Welcome. Imani. Gabriella. Kyle. Our President, Harveen. Sarah. Brett. Krish. Ria. Angelina. Anch. Kieran. Shreya. Olivia. Janet. Valeria. Wait. All you guys keep going over there from your families. Throw me off. Dia. Isha. Sajay. Simona. Yuna. Kayla. And then next thing I'm pretty sure not here because they, Sanithi, Erica, and Angela. All right, so with that, that's the end of our ceremonies, but we have the room until 8:30, so please, by all means, use this time, eat the food, drink our beverages, and chat. And let's celebrate this wonderful class. Oh, wait, sorry. No, there's one more thing that I need you all to do first. Can all of my seniors please come forward for a photo? Ms. Keller? Thank you so much for remembering that. Queen. Say Renin. What do you use Renin to make? Hey guys, real quick, I want to recognize a student that I can't believe I just missed in the list. This is Queen.
Yeah, Queen!
Queen is an absolutely amazing student and absolutely worth recognizing and very memorable, and I hope you keep in touch.